Greetings all, this is the J-Man from Metal Sharks, and I do believe we are going live. Can you hear me okay? Okay, so we are live. That's really good. Thanks, Unanonymous. Unanonymous is in the house. Right on, right on. We're glad you're here, Unanonymous. And we're glad you're excited for the coin roll hunt and gave the video a like already. So that is much appreciated and welcome. And we hope you enjoy this. Hopefully we'll get a few more people that will join our live stream very shortly. So today, while we're waiting for a few more hopefully to come on here for our live stream, let me see if I can, I was trying to see if I could change the camera view, but I'm not sure. Let me see. Okay, yeah, I know how to do it. So, there I am, the J-Man from Metal Sharks, and welcome all. We hope we get a few more on. Right now I think we just have one viewer, so we're glad Anonymous is in the house. And today you might be able to tell I'm wearing my Florida State Seminole colors. Go Florida State! The Seminoles are playing the North Carolina State Wolfpack in college football today. So that's why I'm wearing the colors of my alma mater. I hope the Seminoles do well. But at any rate, let's switch back. This is a little display board that I've started working on. It's kind of a work in progress, so I can put stickers from some of my favorite channels over here on this part. And then we have our channel logo up here in the center. And hopefully we'll make this display board even better over time. So let's see here. So first of all, I want to give you a little bit of information about what we're going to do in the stream today. So today, in today's stream, we're going to do maybe 3 segments. We're going to do a couple of rolls of pennies or nickels in each segment. So in the first segment, I'm going to tell you a little bit, as I open some penny rolls, about a seated hunt that I went to for the first time. This seated hunt was sponsored by the Ocala Metal Detecting Club, and it was a lot of fun. I was really glad I was able to do it, but I also learned a few lessons there, so I'll tell you about that. And then in segment 2, we'll do a couple more rolls, and we'll tell you a little bit. We'll probably do at least 1 nickel roll in segment 2, and then we'll tell you a little bit about plans for a 500 subscriber giveaway, and we want to make that really big. And hey, Del Marvelous Digging is in the house, and he says, "What's up, Metal Sharks? Hello from the Eastern Shore of Virginia." Hey, I'm really glad you're there with us, Del Marvelous, and you're going to be lurking while you search a penny roll box. That's really cool. Thanks for joining us. We really appreciate it. And maybe if you're still going on later, we'll check out your channel if your stream is still going on later. So thanks a lot, Del Marvelous Digging. So segment 2, as I was saying, we're going to tell you a little bit about plans because we are so close at Metal Sharks to getting to the 500 subscriber milestone, believe it or not. So in 2019, earlier this year, like at the start of the year, we only had about 30 subscribers, believe it or not. And our channel only started in August of 2018. So we're really grateful for all of our subscribers, and we'll talk more about a giveaway that we want to do, and we want to make it big time giveaway with probably 4 silver coins, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that, 1 commemorative coin. And then lastly, our last segment will be where we'll open that WHEATIE Ender roll that John Long Silver, my dad, gave me from a box of pennies he got from the bank. And I'll tell you a little bit about some upcoming plans for St. George Island and some collaboration ideas at Pensacola Beach. Hey, Harry Humstone is in the house. What's up, Harry? Glad you're with us. Thanks for joining. This is the best we've done so far with one of our live streams. We have 3 participants now, so that means at the end of this stream we're going to do a random drawing, and so we're going to pull out hopefully a war nickel and give away one of these war nickels that I have in a little album here. So hopefully we'll figure out how to do that at the end of the stream for those who are still on at that point. But glad to have 3 of you on there, and thanks a lot for being on here. So without further ado, as you can see here, we have a number of rolls of coins here. I'm not sure if we're going to get through all of these because we're only allotted for about 30 minutes. But we'll try to get through as many of these rolls as we can and then save some of them for next time. So we'll start here with this one on the end. And it looks like it's just right now some pretty shiny pennies there. And before this time is over, though, we're going to get to this one, which is one from a bank box of pennies that had a WHEATIE Ender. So that's what it's all about today, getting to that one. So Del Marvelous says he has a friend in Ocala, but he does not metal detect. So he's not going to live stream. You might only video if something big pops out. My Ender's inbox. Don't look promising. Oh, okay. And Coin Junkie AG is there. Hey, Coin Junkie AG is in the house. Glad you joined us. What's up, Coin Junkie? Okay, so I'm opening the first one here, and this one has kind of shiny pennies, at least at that end. So let's see what we've got here. So we're getting this out, and going to give this a whirl and look through these. And of course, my eyes aren't always as good as I want, so I may not always see the really good pennies. So if you notice me missing something, let me know. But I'm going to try to set aside the copper ones from 82 and older, and then any wheat pennies if we're blessed to have some of those. And so let me know if you see something I miss. Okay, so I don't see much yet, but we'll try to go through these, and then I try to go back later to make sure I haven't missed anything. Look at them more closely with a handy dandy magnifying glass. 72, we got it. Oh, that's a nice 72 there. It's still pretty shiny, and it looks like a 72 Denver, so let's set that up there. That might be one to mount on a card. Hey, Del Marvelous, that's fine to be lurking with everybody. That sounds good. And let us know how your searching goes with your box. 2017, no help. So while I'm doing this, I may miss some of the things going through the chat, and it's not intentional in any way. So if I miss something, maybe use some emojis or somehow let me know. This one I couldn't read right away. I think it says 81, so I'm going to put that up here. Hey, John Chum Adventures. We're really glad you joined us. What's up, John Chum? All right. 1966. That's a nice older one. We're going to save that. We're really glad everybody's joined us and really grateful for all our subscribers for sure. So there's a, looks like a 68 Denver. This was a 68 Denver, so that's a nice one. So anyhow, while I'm doing this, I wanted to talk about this seated hunt that I went on metal detecting in Ocala. And it was my very first seated hunt. I've only been detecting since maybe 2017. I got a used Garrett AT Pro for my birthday that year. So that was one of the best gifts I ever got. My wife and then my dad bought it for me and chipped in money for it. But anyways, hey, this is a 78 Denver. So that's a nice one, pretty good shape. So I got that metal detector, and then my life hasn't been quite the same since then, a Garrett AT Pro. But I always hear about these metal detecting events, like they had Woodbine, I think, this summer, and the Digging Canuck and Digging with Deej and some other channels, some other detectorists from other channels went on those. 1972, we'll take it. So these other channels went to Woodbine in Toronto and had a great time. So I was like, oh man, I wish I could have gone to that, but it's pretty far. So Unanonymous, a seated hunt is basically a metal detecting event, usually sponsored by a club and maybe some other sponsors. And what they do is they get silver coins and they kind of throw it out in the field, and sometimes they bury them a little bit, and sometimes they leave them pretty shallow. And then they get a number of detectorists, and usually you pay a little bit of an entry fee. So I was able to do that a few weeks ago, and I went there with my mom. She kept me company, and she just sat under a pine or oak tree in a lawn chair. But I was able to be part of a seated hunt, and made a video about it. It's one of our last 2 or 3 videos if you want to learn more about it. But basically, we had a really good time. There were about 40 detectorists. 73, we'll take it. 40 or more detectorists, and wow, that looks grody. That penny looks nasty. Get that one back to the bank. But anyways, it was like about 3 hours long, and I paid, I think, $5 entry fee. But then I joined a metal detecting club, so it was more like $12, and I got to be a member of the club for the rest of this year. 88D, no help. Yeah, so it was pretty cool on Anonymous. And the only thing was, I was having a lot of fun while I was out on the hunt. The first hunt, you find these colored pennies, and if you find the most pennies of the same color, then you would win a prize. Okay, this looks like a 1969S, San Francisco. So that is a nice find in this coin roll, this first roll. Glad to have that. That's harder to find on the East Coast for sure. And I think 68 or 69 might be a year that there were error coins. So we'll have to look out for that and check it out, see if it was an error coin. So it looks like we have Tesoros Encontrados Cordoba in the house. We're glad you're here. Hola! Tesoros Encontrados Cordoba. Welcome, welcome. All right. This is really cool. So 1981, we'll set that there. Union Shield design, no help. So anyways, going to this seated hunt, 1990, no help. Sponsored by the Ocala Metal Detecting Club. I had a lot of fun, and then the second hunt was where you actually could find silver items. And as I was going through there, I found a silver quarter, which I'll show you a little bit later, and a silver Winged Liberty, or commonly known as Mercury dime. But I also found something else, which I didn't realize till later, but there was poison ivy there. This is a 1983, and I think sometimes they have coins that are rare or error coins that were made out of copper in 83, so I'm going to check that out. 69, another 69, this time Denver. So we'll take that one. This has been a good roll so far. A few interesting things. So anyhow, I didn't realize that there was poison ivy there. Hey, thanks, Harry Humstone. It says, time to jump on another. There are WHEATIEs out there. Okay, so we're getting to the end of this roll, and we'll see what the next roll will bring. But yeah, I didn't realize that the 2 fields where I went to this seated hunt, I didn't realize that they had been just mowed. And so I think some vines, poison ivy vines, had been mowed in the field, and I reached down and I got almost like a leaf imprint on both of my wrists, and had bad poison ivy rash and itching for more than a week, and just now cleared up. So it's been about 2 weeks total. And so if you're out metal detecting or doing anything outdoors really, keep an eye out for vines that are in clusters of 3. Clusters of 3, leave it be, they say. Now, one thing about that, and this was a 1975 Denver, so that's a good one. So one thing about clusters of 3, every once in a while they say that poison ivy could have more than 3 leaves. But as a general rule, it comes in clusters of 3. And also, it has jagged edges. So learn what it looks like, I recommend. And I know what it looks like, but I just was so excited for that going on my first hunt that I didn't keep an eye out for it. And I think I should have also probably worn gloves. That's a good idea, John Chum. And I can't tell you how many times I've been out metal detecting, and I've actually had gloves with me, but I just didn't want to put them on. You know, they're kind of heavy-duty yard gloves. So anyhow, I didn't want to put those on, but I think I need to get some lighter weight ones and start making that a habit, because that would be a lot better and maybe head off a lot of problems at the pass. And the other thing about gloves is when you're detecting, sometimes you come into bottle dumps. So if you come into a bottle dump and there's broken glass, you know, I've actually been cut detecting and coming into a bottle dump where there was, you know, a trashy area with a lot of broken glass. So that's another reason to wear gloves. And then sometimes you go to the beach, and people and the kind of things they dump at the beach nowadays, like sometimes you find needles and things, syringes. So you just got to be careful, I guess. And us guys or gals that don't wear gloves detecting are probably making a mistake a lot of times. 84, but it's an older penny and it's in good condition, so I think I'll set that up there. So anyhow, we're glad for everybody who's on here, and we're doing our second roll now. And let's see, 85, no help. Hey, look, we've got a wheat penny. Look at that, folks. Our first wheat penny of any roll. So let's see what year that was. Holy smokes. Oh, okay. I was reading this and I thought at first it said 1914, but I believe that's a 1944 Denver. So that's a nice find. Only in our second roll, and that shows you that wheat pennies are still in circulation for bank rolls. So very exciting. Let's put that here so we can kind of know how we're doing here. Union Shield, no help. And no help there. Union Shield. Union Shield. So let's see here. 1992, no help. So anyhow, 95, no help. Yeah, an anonymous. That was pretty cool finding that wheat penny already, only in our second roll. I was pretty excited about that. So the other thing about the seated hunt, I wanted to tell you guys a little bit more about this sponsored metal detecting event. So this is a 1979, and that's a good one. Copper penny. So we'll set that aside. So anyhow, the first part of it was in a real sunny field where I was looking for these colored pennies, and I enjoyed it. And there was also some costume jewelry thrown out there, so I enjoyed that. But I think I used a lot of my energy. I mean, this month of September in North Florida and Central Florida, it's been very, very hot. 1995, no help. So with all the hot weather that we've had, we haven't had proper rain. And so when you dig, the ground is really hard. But at this place, the ground was actually kind of sandy. And I didn't find, it was pretty sandy, and I got really hot and tired pretty quickly. And I used up a lot of my energy in the first hunt for the colored pennies and the costume jewelry. And then by the time we got down to the real seated hunt for silver, I was pretty worn out. And also, some of the other people were kind of working in teams of two. And so I understand, like a mom and a son working together, or a husband and wife. But in some ways, it's a little bit, not as fair maybe, but I guess life isn't fair, as they say. But people working in teams of two, they don't get as tired as quick, or maybe one can carry the shovel, one can carry the detector kind of thing. So they could probably find 3 or 4 silver coins to my one, when they have a team like that. So I'm sorry the focus seems to keep jumping back and forth. Not sure how to avoid that. I'm using an iPad. So Del Marvelous Digging says that digging is like digging concrete here. No rain since Dorian. Yeah, that's how it's been in North Florida. And that might be partly why I'm trying to do a little bit more coin roll hunting. And I imagine our friends up north, like some of the detectorists up in Canada, when they get to the harshest part of winter, it's frozen ground there. So they have to do other things like maybe research detecting sites, or maybe do a lot of coin roll hunting, or maybe maybe they go to places like thrift stores and see if they can find bargains. So Del Marvelous says first 5 rolls for him, score, no Wheaties, but 1 Canadian. Maybe he should start collecting Canadian pennies. LMBO. Yeah, I know what you mean. And then John Chan said, good old Canadian penny. Yeah, maybe there'll be some Canadians in here. Now, my eyes seem to spy a 1959 D. So I think that's what this is. So that was very close to being our second Wheatie, but we'll take it. That's a pretty old penny. Maybe there's going to be some more Wheaties in here. Let's see what this is. If I jerk it away, it's because I'm using the magnifying glass. That was an 83, that last one. 75, and it's still in pretty good shape. I'm glad to have that one. Union Shield. Union Shield. Union Shield. You could just get those out of here. I don't really want them Union Shields right now. Now this is a shiny looking penny. I wonder what that is. 2007. I think I'll just kind of keep that one, because usually it's been in circulation even several years. It's not going to be that shiny. So let's see. 88, no help. Union Shield. Union Shield. Corroded penny. Union Shield. So John Chum Adventure says, starting November in Canada, it's too cold to go digging. Yeah, that makes it no fun. And I'll tell you right now, in North Florida, it's been really hard to do any detecting. Like, even if you wait till the very end of a day, it gets dark around 7:30. And even though it's been dry, the mosquitoes start coming out. So, and like I was saying earlier, the ground is hard as a rock, like concrete, because of the lack of rain. So I am thinking that that is a 64D Denver mint. So I'm glad to have that one. It's a little hard to read the mint sometimes. So let's see what we got here. 01. 96, Denver. Not sure what year that was. 88, no help. So here's a dark penny. What is that? Looks like can't even read that one. It's so dark. Looked like 80 something. And then 83. Union Shields, no help. Union Shield, no help. So we're getting to the end of our second roll. Looks like another 83. Union Shields, no help. Now let's see what this one is. So all of you guys that are on here for this live stream, I wanted to tell you that because we had the best attendance so far of any of our live streams, we're going to give away a silver war nickel. So we got some examples of war nickels here. 1945S, San Francisco mint mark. So we'll give away one of those. We'll do a random drawing before we get done here. So Unanonymous says he would recommend a tripod for the iPad because in order to focus it, it needs to be still. Yeah, that's a good idea. I should definitely look into one of those. And then also sometimes when I'm going through these pennies, I think I use terminology like if you're playing a game of poker. So like if you're playing poker and you were you had a 5-card draw or something like that. So if you get an ace and then a 9 and a 3, you're hoping to get another ace, so at least you'll have a pair of aces. So when the cards are dealt around and you get a 10 of spades or something, you might say, oh, 10 of spades, no help. So I say that with pennies, like if I get Union Shield or something like that, that means those are pennies that I'm just going to give back to the bank eventually. They're not anything that I collect because they're not 1982 or older where they have a copper value. The copper melt value on one of these, I think, is somewhere around 2 to 3 cents if it's 82 or older. Although technically you're not supposed to melt coins, U.S. coins, but I think you can do certain things, like if it's for your own use, like make jewelry out of it. You might be able to do that, but I don't know all the laws for sure. So, hey, we've got Digging Canuck in the house. Hello, hello. Liz, we're really glad you joined us. And Liz reminded me of something that there's a song out there, and it kind of went viral. And so I'm going to tell you about that in just a minute. But she did this song where it goes, metal sharks, do-do-do-do-do, metal sharks. So it's a really good song, and if you want to see it sometime, maybe check out one of her recent live streams. But I didn't realize at the time that she did a live stream a few weeks ago that there was actually a backstory to it. And I think there's actually some kind of video out there that about baby sharks. And actually something like 3.5 billion people worldwide have seen that video. So that's just hard to even imagine that many people watching one video. But I hadn't seen it until after I was on the live stream, so now it all makes a lot more sense. So we're really glad you're here with us too, Liz. We're doing a coin roll search, and we've gone through, I want to say, 2 rolls of pennies so far, and the best find has been a wheat penny. And so this is a 1944 Denver wheat penny that we found in one of our rolls. So we're excited about that. Then over here we've got a bunch of 1982 or older, or just a few nice pennies like 2007 that was in good shape. So I'm keeping things like that too. And so this next segment, I wanted to go ahead and open some nickel rolls. And actually this nickel roll came like this from a bank. And as you can see, it has 1 penny there. So that's a 2015 penny at that end, and then a nickel showing at this end. So there's no telling what's in there. And so I'm going to go ahead and open that one now, and then tell you about some giveaway plans that we hope to do for reaching the 500 subscription milestone, hopefully pretty soon. So let's open up this nickel roll and give it a whirl. Let's see how we do. So I guess that was the penny. So there it is. 2013 Union Shield penny was in that roll. So I guess somebody made that roll lighter, snuck in a penny. So let's see what we got here. Okay, put these nickels over here. So we're looking for any nickels that are really old. Like this is a 64, so I think I'll set that aside. But I'm really hoping to maybe get a war year nickel, so that would be 43 through 45, I believe. That would be during World War II when the United States Armed Forces were short on certain metals. The U.S. Mint started making nickels out of, I think, 30% silver. So that's why they're called war nickels. So maybe there'll be one of those in here, or maybe not. But there's also certain nickel special designs of recent years, like here's one right now. So there's a Lewis and Clark nickel. And I think it says, "Oh, the view." So sorry for that focusing issue, but I'm going to get a tripod to make that better, because that was a great suggestion that came in from an anonymous. Yeah, that was weird, John Chum. Nickel roll with a penny in there. So anyhow, this is a good find here. It says, "Oh, the view." and it's from when Lewis and Clark made it all the way across the United States, all the way across the continent, and they finally saw the view of the Pacific Ocean. So it says, "Oh, the view." That's actually a historical quote there. So that was a good find. And I'm going to go back through these nickels more closely later to make sure I'm not missing anything. But let me know if you see something right off that I missed. That one's a 1962, so it's pretty old, but nothing particularly special, but I like to keep them if they're early 60s or older. 78, no help. So anyhow, I wanted to do some announcements about, hopefully Metal Sharks will reach the subscription milestone of 500 subscribers very soon. It's funny because I think sometimes there's strange things that happen on YouTube, and people, maybe they watch a video and they accidentally click unsubscribe, or you just hover over the wrong thing, or maybe there's other reasons. But sometimes, like Metal Sharks was as high as 498 subscribers a few days ago, but now we're down to 496. But hopefully in the next week or two we'll hit 500. And when we do, we want to do a giveaway, and we want to give away 4 silver coins and 1 commemorative coin. So 5 coins total is what we're thinking about. So probably a silver Washington quarter, and then a Roosevelt silver dime, probably a Mercury dime, and then probably a war nickel. And then I'll show you the commemorative coin that we're thinking about in just a minute. Okay, more recent nickels, not much help. Let's see, we're getting close to the end of this roll here. And let's see what this one is. 1998, no help. Wow, that would be cool, John Chum, if we got to 92. 92. I think that was the coin I was looking at. It would be really cool if we got to 500 tonight. Wouldn't that be something? You never know. That would be a pretty neat milestone. And we're really grateful for all of our subscribers. So, coming to the end of this nickel roll, and then I think in a minute we'll do our third segment, and we'll do the wheat ender roll and see how that turns out, and probably save a lot of these other rolls for another time. So it looks like there weren't any war nickels, but at least we got this one. Oh, the view, Lewis and Clark. So we're really glad about that. Got to start somewhere. Then a few older nickels from the early 60s. So I'm glad about that. So anyhow, so John Chum says, you ever watch Rico Treasure Hunting? You could get lots of subs there. Oh, thanks for the tip. I haven't ever watched, or I think maybe I did a long time ago. So I think I'll go back and check him out again soon. That's a good idea. So anyhow, one last thing about the 500 subscriber milestone is this is a commemorative coin, and I think it's let's see what year that was and tell you who's on it. But I want to give this away because I think it's a really neat coin that people haven't seen that much. Freedom and opportunity for all, Americanism, USA on the reverse side, and then on this side I believe that's George Washington Carver, and let's see, Carver, it says Carver and Booker T. Washington, George Washington Carver and Booker T. Washington. So that's a neat coin that we're going to give away when we hit the 500 subscriber mark. So hopefully one of you or somebody else might be in that and could win that. Yeah, so that's cool that you got 17 subs last Saturday, John Chum. Okay, so that's pretty much it about the 500 subscriber mark. Now, just a brief announcement here, and then we'll do that wheat ender roll and probably wrap this up because I think we're starting to go into overtime because we were only segmented for 30 minutes here. But anyhow, so I have family in the Pensacola Beach area, and I actually have some family there this weekend, but I wasn't able to go with them. But my dad, John Long Silver, my sister, the Seagull, and my brother, the Silver Stingray, are all over there metal detecting this weekend. And so, can't wait to find out how they did over there. And I think they were going to go to a beach that I went to a few months ago, and I found this neat pendant that was gold colored, part of a necklace, but it turned out to not be gold. We actually tested it on one of our videos. But it was really exciting to find something that looked like it could have been gold. But it was actually a nice part of a jewelry item. And so that's featured in a video about the West End Beach over in Pensacola that we did a few months ago, a metal detecting hunt. But I think they are going back there and some other beaches in Pensacola, maybe near the Pensacola Pier. So we'll have some videos about that in the next week or two. And then I think in October there's a chance that Metal Sharks will do the very first collaboration video that we've ever done. So a couple of times Metal Sharks has tried to team up with like Florida Thunder, Rob of Florida Thunder, you know, but it didn't work out. And then I tried to get together with Mr. Detectorist. He's not too far, like 2 hours away, kind of west of where Metal Sharks is. He's kind of over near the Destin area. So haven't been able to hook up with him yet. But there's a chance that we're going to hook up with another channel to be announced. If it works out, I'll announce it pretty soon. But it's another channel. I'll just say they're from the great state of Mississippi. And so some of you might be able to figure out who that is. And if it works out, we're going to meet that channel in Pensacola Beach in a couple of weeks. So anyhow, let's get to the main event here because, of course, we're overtime. So this is what we wanted to get to all along. Find out what year this wheat ender is. And then at the other end, nothing but a Union Shield penny. So let's go ahead and give that a whirl, and then we'll wrap this baby up and do our random drawing. So we're opening this roll up. Here we go. Wow, looks like a lot of shiny ones there. So I'll look at these more closely later, but I can tell that these are probably Union Shield designs. To make sure there's not like a Life of Abraham Lincoln in there. But this probably was the ender. So let's see what year that was. 1940s, I believe. Let's see if we can get more light on that. 1940s. So that's pretty cool. San Francisco wheat penny. You don't find those every day, especially here on the East Coast. So Union Shield, no help. And this one is 87, no help. So several Union Shields, we can just get those out of here. And let's see what this is. 1977. Some of y'all weren't even born then, I think. But that's the way it is. So 78, and it's still in pretty good shape. So we're glad to have that. That's a good find, Metal Sharks, for sure. Thanks, Del Marvelous. Yeah, that was really neat finding a wheat penny that's a San Francisco mint mark, and I think it was one of the World War II years. No help. So, this is an 87. I thought it might be 57 for a second. So, we're getting close to the end here. Funny how there's so many. There was that wheat penny in there, and then there's so many shiny ones. Just Union Shield that we can just set aside pretty quickly. No help. Get those back to the bank. So let's see what this is. 2016, no help. So, yeah, couple more announcements as I'm kind of wrapping up this last roll that had the WHEATIE ender. So tomorrow I'm going to be able to go fishing, freshwater fishing, so I'm excited about that. And I don't own a boat right now. This was a 1967 Philly, so glad to have that. But I'm going to go to a freshwater lake not too far from where I live in North Florida, and I'm going to take my youngest son, who's 14, try to get up really early, and then a friend of his, he's also 14, but his friend loves fishing, so I'm going to take those two guys fishing. 1970, we'll take it. And that's going to be fun, hopefully. But while I'm going fishing, I'm going to try to do another type of fishing. So I'll probably have plastic worms and hooks and all that for regular fish you catch out of a lake. But then also, I'm going to do some, you might have guessed it, magnet fishing. So we'll be at the dock and we'll see if anybody's dropped any pliers or knives or any interesting things that we can pull up with a magnet. And maybe we'll even have a future video on metal sharks, because we've never done a magnet fishing video that we've actually published yet. We have done saltwater fishing a few times, and it's been a lot of fun. And we've done a couple of videos about that. So, hey, if any of you guys, as a side note, sometimes a channel like Metal Sharks is an outdoor and adventure channel. But my dad, John Long Silver, has a channel, and I help him out with it. It's called John Long's Silver Rails, and he spells the word rails R-A-I-L-Z. But it's a good channel, so check it out sometime and see if you like it. And if you do, then subscribe to it. But he features model trains and layouts, and sometimes there's really neat scenes like from World War II or different Western scenes. I mean, sometimes at a train show they'll have scenes where they work in cultural references like different famous movies like Star Wars or Close Encounters of the Third Kind, science fiction space movies. Okay, so we've come to the end of that roll, and as you can see we had a lot of rolls left, but we've gone over time, so I'm not going to open those today. But I would like to do a giveaway. And so John Chum says, do a magnet fishing video, so that would be cool. Yeah, maybe we could do that. And so these are some nickels here, and I guess I'll just pick one here, unless anybody votes for a certain year really quickly. But we have a 43 Philly, a 44, how about a 1944 San Francisco? Because I want to give away a pretty nice coin, and that's pretty rare. That's probably a rarer mintage. And so that's what the giveaway is going to be. Ignore the price on it. I probably picked that up somewhere at a flea market or something at some point. So Unanonymous says, please excuse me. So I appreciate that, Unanonymous, because I think I know who you are, and you might be someone who's related to me. But I really appreciate that. So I'm not sure how many folks are still on here. I know we have John Chum. We might still have Del Marvelous lurking there. And then at one point we had the Digging Canuck, so that was really exciting. We're really glad she came by for a visit. But how about I will write down a number between 1 and 30. And if anybody wants to be in the giveaway, think of a number between 1 and 30. And then when I say so, go ahead and type in that number. And I'm going to write down a number between 1 and 13 now on this yellow notepad that I have here. And I won't show it to you here. Well, I think I can mail it to Canada. I'm willing to try it because I think I know a way to do that. So that's all right if you're from Canada and you win. And if for some reason it doesn't go through, then we'll try to give you something else later on. But hopefully it would get there okay, even in Canada. Okay, so you guys think of that number between 1 and 30, and get ready to type that in, but don't do it quite yet. So I'm going to write in a number now. And then at the end of this, okay, at the end of this we'll show the number. But so I've got a number on here. So if everybody starts typing in a number between 1 and 30, and you can type in more than one number, and I'll say stop, and whoever gets the right number first wins. So go ahead now, enter the numbers between 1 and 30. Okay, so we got 14, we got 6. Keep going, guys. 10, 21. So we're looking for a number between 1 and 30. 16. We got 25. Still out there. The number's still out there. Del Marvelous said 25. John Chum had 16. 28. Still going. We're still going here. Let's see if somebody can get it. Looks like it's down to 2 folks. 23. Not 23 either. 29. John Chum says not that. 3. 12. Not that. Keep going, guys. We'll get it eventually. 12, not it. Keep going, guys. You can do it. We'll get it. 18. Oh, you just locked up over there. Sorry about that. Looks like hopefully you're back on now. 6. Keep going. 7. 'I forgot about chatting myself, that I could enter chat. 9's not it. Maybe I should have made it, since we only had a few people, made it like between 1 and 20. I guess note to self for next time, huh? So Del Marvelous is refreshed now. Got 9 and 11. That's not it. Keep going, guys. You'll get it. Somebody will get it. I wonder if I should give a hint. Let me know if you think I should give a hint. 10, Del Marvelous. 13, John Chum. Not it. In either case. So while you guys are entering that, I want to just show you, this was a recent find, and it looks like maybe a bell. 17, not it. So I found this at a 1940. 19! We've got a winner for our giveaway. John Chum Adventures. Congratulations. That was the winning number, 19. Way to go, good buddy. So John Chum, I'm going to type in my email address right now. So it's jamieth@yahoo.com. And if you shoot me an email with your best mailing address, then I will send this war nickel and a note of thanks for being part of this live stream. So I really appreciate you, John Chum Adventures, and I'm going to look forward to checking out your channel more. I think I saw one of your videos not too long ago, and it was pretty interesting. I think maybe you had a pet cat, if I remember right. And so I have a pet dog. His name is T-Rex, and he's been featured in some of our videos. But I will mail that to you hopefully in the next couple of days after I get your mailing address. So that's pretty much it, but I'm really glad to all of our viewers. Really glad Del Marvelous Digging for lurking but being off and on there. And really glad John Chum Adventures, and also Unanonymous. And then for a little while we had Liz, the Digging Canuck. She's got a wonderful channel and a wonderful live stream that I'm hoping to be able to join tomorrow morning after I go fishing. And great community there. She has magnet fishers. She has metal detectorists. She has bottle hunt finders. I don't know what you call them. But take care, Del Marvelous. Thanks for joining us. And take care, John Chum. We'll look forward to getting your address. And so that's pretty much it, guys. We're going to go ahead and sign off here in a minute. But we're really glad and look forward to having more updates and videos soon. But we're really glad that you guys came on tonight. Hey, thanks a lot, Unanonymous. It was a pretty good live stream. It turned out pretty well. Really glad for the wheat pennies. Let me see if I can review that again. I think this is a 45S, San Francisco. So that was exciting. And then the other really good find was a 1944 Denver mint mark, as shown there. And so then there were other good pennies here, 82 and older, and then a few nice shiny ones from more recent years. And then, oh, the View Lewis and Clark nickel. That was the best nickel that we found today from the year 2005. So keep an eye out for those in circulation. So take care, good buddies. I'm going to go ahead and sign off now. I thought we've done our recap. Hope you've enjoyed it. J-Man out.